I mostly was just interested in how the vehicles themselves were going to play out, because it's like this whole new card type. And in fact, like the very first thing I wanted to write about and just start exploring is like, what do these things mean for limited? And the answer is they mean a lot. They completely fundamentally warp how a limited environment is structured when there are vehicles versus not. Like at a Grand Prix Atlanta, which just happened, my opponent cast Fumigate, which normally it's like, the board is gone, let's keep playing Magic, let's rebuild. Well, my opponent cast Wrath of God, and then I attacked him for 9 the very next turn. I just had 2 vehicles sitting in play, play 2 creature, crew them both, hit for 9, and then now he's just on the back foot again, you know? You gain a little life, but it's not enough. And so I think they really change it, and actually they make some of the like really crazy cards a little bit harder to work around, because you're getting attacked, and when you're blocking vehicles, because they're so big, you're just in a losing spot. So it's a format that's all about just racing and perfect timing and having the right trick at the right time. Then there's also the crazy games like Era of Invention with Whirler Virtuoso, making all the Thopters. So they're really slow games that are really tricky and crazy, but also just a lot of really fast games around vehicles where timing is everything. So it's a cool set.
Cataclysmic Gearhulk. Yeah, that card really screamed to me Tragic Arrogance, and I really like that card. We tried it, it's not quite that good, but yeah, I really have high hopes for that card.
I like a lot of the Fabricate creatures, just like just anything with Fabricate, making servos, and then like if I can have like an inspired charge and just have like a go wide strategy, I really enjoy that. I think that this format lends itself well to just having a bunch of creatures on the board as quickly as possible and having a small artifact theme. So I would say Inspired Charge is a lot better than it has been in previous formats, so I've been liking that card.
Okay, so the card with kind of no games played that stood out the most to me was Verdurous Gearhulk. It's kind of unprecedented, the amount of power and toughness that you can get with no drawback with that card. And then it also has upside in that you can attack with some of that power and toughness immediately. So that definitely stood out to me. After we played for a bit more, I realized how crazy Key to the City is. It's kind of an unassuming card. I thought it would be great in Limited because it does 2 great things in Limited, which are, you know, looting and making your guys unblockable. So it's very inevitable, and it's a colorless card. So thought it'd be great there. Didn't realize until I saw some other people playing with it in Constructed that it was actually just great in Constructed too. The interaction with Madness and whatnot. So.
There's one card with an honorable mention. The one card is Metalwork Colossus, and the honorable mention is Gear Seeker Serpent. I saw those 2 cards and I thought, oh my gosh, I bet I could put together an aggressive artifact deck again and just play the way I like to play by swarming the board with artifacts.
I guess in similar fashion, I actually did see Sam Black play a Dynavolt Tower draft deck in the feature match area. He had like some absurd amount of energy voting, like 18. He had cast basically no spells. He just cast all of the green energy guys to power his Dynavolt Tower instead, which is, I don't think, the quite intended use for that card, but it works just equally as well. So like the Sage of 2/1 that makes, you know, 3 green, that's actually quite powerful with Dynavolt Tower. It's just half a lightning bolt.
I think everyone's talked about Renegade Freighter a ton. It's probably just the best common, and that's saying something, because there's like Welding Sparks, which you think of like, that's like murder, like at common, right? Which we haven't seen in a while. And so a colorless card that you can first pick that just bashes for 5, that's really hard to block, it's great.
So the cards that I was most excited about were cards like the Decoction modules and the Fabrication modules, and how good are they? How, like, if you can try to force the draft with those cards, how insane can your deck be? And after testing for a little bit and actually getting to build a deck at the GP with it, it just felt like I was playing a different game of Magic. Like, these people were playing these creatures and I was playing like a guy that made tons of Thopters every single turn, and I bounced him back and played him again and played tons of more Thopters. And those artifacts, I think that people are maybe too scared, or they can't like maybe see that all these other cards produce energy, and that if you combine those with those modules, it can just snowball a game out of control.
Cloud Blazer. Yeah, it's just my favorite card. I keep playing with it in decks, and I just feel like when I cast on turn 5, I never lose. And yeah, that's what I want to play in limited. That's what I want to play in standard, at least. Probably not modern, but yeah, that's the card I'm like trying to make work. The blue-white decks are not that good, unfortunately. One deck I'm playing right now is like it's basically an Eldrazi deck, like colorless, with blue and white for Cloudblazer and like some blue and white cards, but mainly Cloudblazer and colorless cards. So yeah, it's the card I like the most in this set, definitely.
So when the spoilers first came out, I saw the series of the thriving common creatures, and I saw thriving Rhino, and I was like, all right, this is it. Like this is like it can't get any better than this. I'm gonna be attacking with a 3/4, you know, on turn 4, with like, you know, the ability to make it a 4/5 the next turn, et cetera, et cetera. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna like focus on looking at the green, blah blah blah. And then they spoiled Renegade Freighter, and I was like, all right. Like, you know, every single, it seems like with Kaladesh, you know, they've pushed creatures a level up at every single casting cost. I think that makes the games go by extremely quickly. It makes being aggressive a big payoff. Makes it a lot, you know, you're killing your opponent half a turn earlier, which really suits my game style.